Hello everyone, welcome to the class. In the previous lectures, we have discussed the degree of carbon, amine and alcohol, as well as we have discussed the degree of unsaturation, right? dBe calculation. We have discussed the dBe value in detail, and we also learned to find the dBe value using structures as well as with formulae. So today we are going to start IUPAC nomenclature. So those videos are very short videos which acts as a base for IUPAC nomenclature as well as for whole chemistry. So today we are going to start the IUPAC nomenclature, which is very important for the whole organic chemistry, because IUPAC is basically the naming of compounds. So if you don't know the name of compound, so you may suffer throughout the organic chemistry, right? So this is very important in the point of organic chemistry as well as for JE or NEET. So many questions don't come from IUPAC, but it is very important for understanding the organic chemistry. So let's get started. So this is our lecture 1 of IUPAC nomenclature, right? So in this lecture we will be discussing some general scheme of IUPAC naming. So what is a word root, what is a 1 degree prefix, we'll learn that all, right? And in the next lecture we'll start with the naming of alkanes, right? So IUPAC naming. So let me give you an example, a general example, to understand the general scheme of IUPAC naming. So if I have this, right, this is the general name of any person. If we write a name of any person, we would find a prefix, a word root and a suffix. Basically here Mr. is the prefix because it came in the front, right? It's a prefix. And this Chintu is a word root and Lal is a suffix, right? In person name we find these three elements, right? What is this? This is a prefix, this is a word root, and this is a suffix, right? In the same way, we will find a prefix, a word root and a suffix in a name, right? In a name of organic chemistry. If you take any compound, any organic compound, we will and you name that, then you will find a prefix in that, a word root and a suffix in that name. So how a person will have a prefix, a word root and a suffix, in the same way organic compounds also have a prefix, a word root and a suffix in their name. So let's start with the word root. So what is the word root? In the case we found Chintu was a word root. So what the word root says in an organic compound, so let me show you with an example. Now you all know what is a parent chain. Let me explain you what is a parent chain. If I have a compound like this, so what is a parent chain? The longest chain in the compound is called a parent chain. So in this case, what's the parent chain? So for finding the parent chain, first of all, as you are a beginner now, mark all the corners. So here we have 4 corners. A, let's say A, B, C and D, right? So I have 4 corners, right? And now I have what all are possible? AD is possible, AC is possible, AB is possible, DC is possible, and DB is possible, right? And now in these all, right, from these all, which is the longest one? DB, right? This is the longest chain. So this is called a parent chain, right? And if in this case, what is a parent chain? This one is the parent chain. So the longest chain in a compound is called a parent chain. So what is a word root? A word root tells us the number of carbons present in a parent chain. So here, as this is a parent chain, so tell me how many number of carbons are present in this parent chain. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this a parent chain? No. Then this. Here also I have, here I have 5 carbons. So this would be a parent chain. So this is a parent chain, and now the number of carbons in the parent chain are 5. So this 5 is known as a word root. It tells us the number of carbons in the parent chain, but we cannot write the number in the name, right? 5. So we gave some names to the number of carbons. Suppose if I have 1 carbon, then I name it as meth. 2 carbons, I name it as eth. So let's discuss that one. So if I have 1 carbon, I would call it as meth. If I have 2 carbons, I'll name it as eth. If I have 3 carbons, I'll name it as prop. And 4 carbons, but. 5 carbons, pent. And if I have 6 carbons, hex. And 7 carbons, hept. And if I have 8 carbons, I'll name it as oct. And when I will have 9 carbons, I'll name it as non, and 10 carbons as dec. This till 10 it's enough, but in extreme conditions you may find 11 or 12 carbons in the parent chain. So 11 carbons is undec, 12 is dodec. So logically 13 would be tridec. So till 13 is more than enough, and if you want more than that, then you can logically know, right? So what does a word root tell? So word root, it tells us the number of carbons in a parent chain. Okay, now let's move to the 1 degree suffix. So in this case we had prefix and suffix, right? In IUPAC we will have, in prefix we have 2 types, that is 1 degree and other one would be 2 degree. In suffix also we will have 1 degree suffix and 2 degree suffix and 2 degree suffix. So now let's discuss what is 1 degree suffix. What is a 1 degree suffix? A 1 degree suffix tells us about the presence of saturation or unsaturation in a compound. Let me show you an example. Now, there are how many carbons here? Now forget about prefix. First we'll discuss suffix, then we'll move on to prefix. Now forget prefix and tell me what is a word root here? But, right? But. In your 9th and 10th classes, you may have learned that for an alkane, we use the suffix as "ane." Right? For alkane, we'll use the suffix "ane", and alkene, we'll use it "ene", and alkyne, we'll use "ine". Right? In your previous classes, you may have read, and I have discussed now also. So, here I have 4 carbons, which the word root is but, and the suffix is "ane". So the 1 degree suffix of alkane will be "ane". The 1 degree suffix of alkene would be "ene", and for alkyne would be "ine". Right? So this would be its IUPAC name. So this "ane" is the 1 degree suffix, and this but is the word root. Let's see another example. If I have this one and this one. Now, how many carbons are present here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but, and this is, if there is a double bond, then it's an alkane, and if it is a triple bond, it's alkyne. So you must all know this one. If it's a double bond, it's alkane. If it's a double bond, it's alkene, and if it's a triple bond, then it's alkyne. So here ene. Here it's a triple bond, and there are how many carbons? 3 carbons. So you may think that this is not a carbon. Where the triple bond line ends, here there will be a carbon, right? You may have learned the bond line notation in your previous classes. This is propyne. Prop is the word root, ine is the 1 degree suffix, but is the word root, ene is a 1 degree suffix. So let's move to the 2 degree suffix. What's the 2 degree suffix? OH. You all know when there is a functional group, right? We have a specific suffix for this functional group. So as our lectures move, then automatically you'll get all the suffix of functional group. Now when you forget about this functional group, now tell me what would be its word root. The word root is ith. Now what is the 1 degree suffix here? First 1 degree suffix come, then 2 degree suffix. What's the 1 degree suffix here? The 1 degree suffix here is ane. Right? And now what is the 2 degree suffix? So in your previous classes itself, you may have learned the 2 degree suffix of each and every functional group. So what is the 2 degree suffix of OH? It's all, right? But here when we have all, so ethanol. But when we have both, vowels at a time, A, E, I, O, U. So if we have both vowels at a time, we would eliminate this E and we will write it as ethanol. So this is its IUPAC name. OL is its 2 degree suffix, AN is its 1 degree suffix, and it is the word root. So you must have understood the 2 degree suffix. And one more example. This is, what is a word root? 1, 2, 3. That is prop. Now it's an alkane, so the 2 degree prefix would be N, An. And what is the 1 degree prefix is An, and 2 degree prefix is amine. So this is an amine, and the 2 degree prefix of an amine is amine. So prop An amine. So this is the name, and as we again have 2 vowels at a time, so then we'll write name as prop An amine. So have you understood? So let's move to the 1 degree prefix. So the 1 degree prefix would only come when we will use 1 degree prefix if and only there is a cyclic compound. What's a cyclic compound? Compounds like this. So if there is a cyclic compound, then only we will use a 1 degree prefix. So here, when there is cyclic compound, then we will use the 1 degree prefix as cyclo. So if you forget this, what we call this 1 degree prefix, now tell me how many carbons are there? 3, right? Now write 3. 3, right? So it's prop. And what is a 1 degree? What's a 1 degree suffix? An. And what's the 2 degree prefix? 2 degree suffix. There is no 2 degree suffix here. So 2 degree suffix is only used when a functional group is involved. Here no functional group is involved, so 2 degree prefix is not present. And now what is the 1 degree prefix? Cyclo. If there is a cyclic compound, you will directly write cyclo, right? For every compound, if there is cyclic compound, you will write cyclo. If there is no cyclic compound, you will not use the word cyclo. So this one, cyclo, we have 5 carbons, that is pent, and we have here it's an alkane, so the 1 degree suffix would be An. So if I keep OH here, then all will come. Then E goes and all comes. And cyclopentanol. So have you understood what's the 1 degree suffix? 1 degree prefix. Now let's know the 2 degree prefix. 2 degree prefix is only used when there is a locant present in the parent chain. So it tells us about the locant present in a parent chain. So now tell me, what is the parent chain here? This is right. The chain or atoms or molecules other than atoms present in parent chain are locants. So here this is a locant, as it is not present in the parent chain. So some specific names are given to the locants. So suppose we have fluorine, we'll call it as fluoro. When we will have chlorine, we'll call it as chloro. When we have, if here I have fluoro, now when we have bromine, we'll use it as bromo. when we have uh, iodine, then we'll use as iodo, right? And so let's name this compound. Now forget about the two prefix and now tell me what is how many carbons are there in the parent chain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pent, pent, and how many? What is a 1 degree suffix? Ane, it's an alkane, and 2 degree prefix is not present. 2 degree suffix is not present, and we have a locant here, right? So here we have CH3, right? So let's suppose we have put uh, fluorine here, then fluoro would come here, and now if we directly write like this, then we would not know where the fluorine is present. So we will do the numbering of the compound. So how the numbering is done, how the parent chain is selected, we will learn it in the next lecture, in which we will also learn the naming of alkenes, right? So till then you must learn these one. You have to make your own notes while I am explaining itself. So revise it again. So now you may not have a feel of these prefixes and suffixes. When we will do the IUPAC naming of alkanes, then you will get a feel of these one. So till then, keep practicing. Bye.